John Wall this morning.
Yeah, Jenna, yesterday the Rockets and John Wall agreed mutually to trade him. All right, so here's the deal. He's going to practice with the team. He's going to be at training camp. He's going to offer great leadership, but not play in games until they can move him. He is owed 2 years, $91 million on his contract. So it seems like an impossible contract to move, but no contract is untradeable in the NBA. I think there is one team, and really one team only, that I think is a good fit for John Wall, and that's the LA Clippers. Don't call them my Clippers, but the LA Clippers, all right? Here's the deal. Luke Kennard, young guy, 25 years old, can shoot the three, would help Houston shoot the three. Serge Ibaka, the Clippers got nothing from him last year, especially in the playoffs. And Eric Bledsoe, who they just traded for. So they have to wait a couple months to make this deal happen. But Bledsoe's just about as injury-prone as John Wall is. I think if John Wall goes to the Clippers, he accepts being the third wheel of the big three. He'll be more of a playmaker for Kawhi and Paul George. We know they've needed a point guard. And my friend and champion in the NBA, Antonio Daniels, says, look, the NBA today is an arms race. Look at what Brooklyn has, a powerful big three. Look at the Lakers, a powerful big three. Look at the Bucks, a big three. The Clippers, it's time to move from the big two to the big three. Go get John Wall.
Wow. That's fascinating. Wow. That's a great take for your Clippers. Hey, Giannis is enjoying his offseason. Took up a new sport. Started playing paddle tennis. If we can show his tweet that he threw up yesterday. I just played paddle tennis for the first time. You don't want this smoke. I agree, my friend. A lot of people are saying, what's paddle tennis? Well, it's kind of like racquetball tennis. You play doubles. You can play the ball off the wall. So I saw this. I said, you know what? Giannis would go from, hey, what are the rules to this, to the greatest of all time in the fastest speed possible. But then I said, you know what, Wilds? There's people out there dedicating their lives to paddle tennis. That's not fair to them. So I did some more research, tried to figure out who was #1 in the world, what doubles team is #1 in the world. Here's the first guy. He's from Madrid, Alejandro Romo. Here's the second guy. Stand by. Juan LeBron. They call him, his name is Juan LeBron. Juan LeBron is one of the most skilled paddle tennis players in the world. So, Giannis, if you're wondering who wants the paddle tennis smoke, you have to come after Juan LeBron. Here's a great play. Watch what. Look at this. This is what Juan LeBron does. Boom! So, Giannis, it's on you now. Juan LeBron is out there. You threw down the gauntlet. LeBron.
With number 12, Aaron Rodgers, coming off just a brutal season-opening blowout loss to the Saints. The reigning MVP only managed 133 passing yards, tossed 2 picks. Rodgers sat down for his weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee Show yesterday, waxed poetic about the team's disastrous Week 1 showing. Take a listen.
Is there any reason for any Packers fans to think anything differently or worry about anything? You have the utmost confidence in this team, this roster, and yourself still, right?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's why I'm back. You know, I love this, love the team. Feel good about everything that we've done in the off season, training camp. You know, I felt like it was solid. We had good practices. I know that, a game like that allows all these speculation to come into play. Should we have played in the preseason? Should we have done this? Should we have done that? And we got to deal with it because we just got our asses whooped. That's fine, but, what's going to happen down the line is going to happen. And we know how this thing goes. It's a cycle. And right now we're taking on the chin, which we should. And pretty soon it'll be flipped. So,
hell yeah.
But me personally, I'm doing great. I'm confident and happy and excited and love these guys. Competitor, like I said, frustrated about my performance and our performance, but this game is about how you respond to negativity, usually more than how you're hailed for your successes.
The old high camera mount in Aaron Rodgers' house. So, Nick, you heard what Aaron Rodgers had to say. What did you make of how he looked back on the game?
Yeah, listen, his comments are fine. He didn't say anything incendiary. He didn't say anything particularly insightful. Those are, you know, what's the word? Pablum, I think is what Broussard would call it. Just regular, you know, expected comments in his weekly hit with McAfee. But it is now going to be fully pressurized on Rodgers about how he plays and how the team responds. Not so much Monday, but in the weeks that follow. Listen, they're going to beat the Lions because if there's one thing we know about the Packers and the Lions is they play twice a year and Green Bay whoops them every single time. So we know they will. That is their early season bye. We know they'll win that game. But then after that, they have two teams that are feeling great right now. Two teams whose defenses are feeling great right now, with the exception maybe a couple minutes at the end of week 1 in San Francisco and Pittsburgh. And Rodgers' trump card all offseason and in every media availability he had, Broussard, was he always threw in there, or very often threw in there, yeah, and I mean, you know, they draft my replacement and, you know, I went out and I won league MVP, and so I thought maybe I'd get a contract extension. And so, you know, after the year we had where, you know, I thought I played really well, thought it was one of the better years of my career, I thought I'd get, you know, a contract extension. But that doesn't play when you were the worst quarterback in the league this week. And so he now has an added level of pressure on himself that if they fall to the Niners, who knocked him out of the NFC Championship game a couple years ago, or if they fall to the Steelers, or God forbid if they lose both of those games and they're 1-3, the noise is going to become deafening. And so I do think his comments were totally fine, Broussard, but I think he now has an extra level of pressure that he and the team must play excellent over the rest of September in order to really quiet it and say, hey, you know who else lost to the Saints 38-3 last year? Tampa Bay. How'd that end up for them? They won the Super Bowl. They can flip it into that, but they need to win weeks 3 and 4 to do that.
Well, I agree with you, Nick, about Aaron's comments. Like, I think they were right on the money. If I'm coming off a bad loss, I want my leader to say, hey, it's just week 1, we'll be fine. It's early, okay? I want him to say, we've got to learn from this loss, and we will learn from this loss. I want him to say those types of things, like, we'll show what we're made of by how we respond to this adversity. So I'm here for all of that. But, guys, I've been married for more than a quarter of a century. Yes, I said it. And in my 26 years of marriage, I have learned that it is not always what you say, but it's how you say it. And look, I'm getting tired of that. Aaron Rodgers is just too cool. He's too calm. He's too unbothered. He is. I'm sorry. Look, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not saying this just based on yesterday's interview or just based on how he's been acting since training camp.
No, you've been
saying. I think this is one of his weaknesses. I think this is one of the weaknesses of Aaron Rodgers. It's one of those lack of intangibles, if you will. I need some urgency.
Wow.
I need some energy. I need some fire, a little bit. And look, he had arguably the best year of his career last year, right? Last year. And what was it? He was angry. He wasn't cool. He wasn't calm. He wasn't unbothered. He was angry. He was ticked off. And he went out there and lit the league on fire. I need to see that from Aaron Rodgers because the team takes on the personality of the quarterback. And I just think he's a little too cool, Wiles. Give me some energy.
I disagree, Broussard. And I wish I should have gotten and talked to you maybe when you were a young man as a teenager. Because here's the #1 piece of advice I give to my kids and any of the children or teenagers watching the show. First of all, your old buddy Kevin Wiles